Previously on Lovesick Moron Season 1, Hanamaki Takahiro added Daichi Soamura, Shirabu Kenjiro, Ashijima Wakatoshi, Kuroo Techsura, Hajime Iwaizumi, Yahaba Shigeru, Kageyama Tobio, Akashi Keiji and Matsukawa Ise say to the group chat. Hanamaki Takahiro named the group chat Sparkles. We volley them ball Sparkles. Look alive people at everyone, I have a secret that everyone might be interested in. Bro Skull. You wouldn't. Yes I would. Oikawa's gonna kill us Skull. Iwaizumi Hajime is online. What are you two planning again? Ahaha, our beloved Iwa-chan has finally shown himself. Perfect timing. Why is Oikawa going to kill you exactly? And do you have any idea where he went? Hey, you two met each other? I never said we met. Why was that the first thing on your mind? No reason kissing face with open eyes. Something's up and I'm not being told the truth, neutral face. What? Of course nothing's up, how did you even come to that conclusion? Yeah exactly, we're just as stumped as you are. Where is Oikawa? Thinking face. I should have known that you were not real ones after all, disappointed face. Okay stop doing that. We don't like that. Yeah, it's making us feel bad. Why would you feel bad if you knew nothing about what happened? We're terrible liars. You cannot escape from me face. Even if you did keep up the lie I'd still know you weren't telling the truth, you idiots. Question mark. I saw you two by the corner of the street looking at Oikawa when I picked him up from the street that night he got drunk. Now spit it out. Why was he acting all weird when he's not usually like that when drunk? Hey, wait. Just for confirmation, nothing happened between you two, right? Eyes. Do you want me to smack your face open? Violent much? I was just asking a question. Zumi-chan face with open eyes and hand over mouth. Exactly Zumi-chan, we're asking the real questions. Face with hand over mouth. Rosy cheeks and smiling eyes. Straight-mouthed face with one raised eyebrow. He was calling me a bunch of nicknames that he never said before, like, smirking face. Shut up. Bet it was something that starts with a D and ends with a D. Oh, it's so cute seeing our Zumi-chan all flustered. Bitch back on topic please. What else did he do? He was just extremely out of character, okay? Not his usual self when he was drunk. Did you put something in his drink? Ayo, I'm not that shitty of a friend. He probably just forgot the feeling of being drunk, okay? Besides that I don't even know where he is. I woke up and he was gone. That we don't have any information on that, but we will contact Oikawa about it. Neutral face. We swear we don't know where he is. We'll update you when it gets an answer. Not you calling Oikawa on it. Kuroo Techsura, Akashi Keiji and Kageyama Tobio are online. Hi. I'm sorry but what's this? I'm not sure I know half of the people here in this chat. Same. Who's Hanamaki Takahiro? Oh my god Matsun, it's the hottest setter. The prettiest setter, and Kuroo smiling face holding back tears. I think I'm going to cry. Kuroo. Just Kuroo really? Couldn't I have been the hottest former middle blocker? Being you is bad enough. That I can agree with. So who pissed in your cereal today? A co-worker named Kuroda. Sorry Kuroo, but if I said that Kenma-kun might kill me face with peeking eye. How do you know him? Online. We play sometimes on and off stream. Wait, Hanamaki, are you perhaps Maki or something? Bingo righty Okuro. I still do not understand why I'm in this group chat. Daichi Soamura, Ashijima Wakatoshi, Shirabu Kenjiro and Yahaba Shigeru are online. Are more guests online? Welcome please. Don't be shy, smiling face. Matsukawa-san, what's this for? You'll find out later. Shirabu-kun smirking face. Shirabu, Ashijima-san, I didn't expect you to be added in a weird group chat. Hey rude, this group chat isn't weird. Who are these people exactly? That's what I've been trying to ask, I don't know half of you guys here. Hey bitch, what's up bitch? Hi, what's this for? Something stupid Daichi-kun, run while you can. Don't listen to Zumi-chan officer. Stop calling me Zumi-chan. Well it's either that or Daddy Zumi, you pick. Shut up, teehee. Wait. Commercial break before I tell you all why you're here. How does Shirabu know Matsun exactly? Babe, I work in a funeral home, I'm pretty sure you can make the connection. Oh, so you guys knew each other because of dead bodies, gotcha. Kinda weird. Kinda scary but makes sense. It wouldn't really be weird for Shirabu as he's already dead inside. I would have told you to shut the fuck up, but you make a great point there. I always make a great point. Can we all get back on topic? What are we doing here? What he said. I believe Mr. Takahiro here has something to announce to us that's important. Oh, that's new and has a nice ring to it. Takahiro makes me feel like I'm not actually jobless, cross-eyed grinning face with stuck-out tongue. Skull. Anyways, back to the announcement. Have any of y'all noticed weird behavior coming from your best friend's eyes? Why the quotation marks? And what weird behavior are you talking about? Oh, you know, getting drunk and showing up without prior notice. If you were looking at our chats earlier between us and Zumi-chan, has a similar thing happened to all of you? Stop with the zombie-chan. PFFT zombie-chan. Great nickname idea. 𝗬𝗿𝗲𝗁. Bakuto-san and his other friends drink sometimes though, so I don't think him getting drunk is weird at all. Kenkan too, sometimes he likes to drink, especially when he's stressed out trying with his business. Same. Though Kaio doesn't really get drunk, he's just more aggressive, so man shrugging. I'd rather not talk about it, grinning face with smiling eyes and sweat drop. I still don't understand why I'm here. Interesting. What are you up to now? What Iwaizumi-san said. I can't say for sure because it's still a working theory, but can you stop with the suspense? We believe that your best friends are purposefully putting you in situations that will make you notice them more. What? That sounds made up. I don't think Tenda almost getting kidnapped was him trying to get my attention. Ugh, this is stupid. I'm leaving this group chat. Wait, before you leave, I'll ask you guys one thing, just one, and it'll confirm our suspicions. What is it? Why can't you just tell us what you're suspecting exactly? Because, you know, question mark. I don't wanna give you guys false hope. Huh? Never mind that. Look, the next time you see your best friend get into a situation or something weird is happening to them, report your findings here in this group chat. If everyone gets similar experiences, then we can confirm our suspicions. If you guys are doing this just for the shits and giggles, it's on site. We're not. So, is everyone on board? Okay. Why should we believe everything you're saying? Exactly. Look, if there's nothing happening and I'm just being a dumbass, then I'll treat you to ice cream or something. You are a dumbass. Akaashi, can you guys just please entertain me? Loudly crying face. I have a gut feeling that something's going on. Okay, fine. Sure, I guess. Okay. Thumbs up. Whatever. Well, it's settled then. Thank you all for time, hands in a heart shape. Daichi Soamura, Shirabu Kenjiro, Ashijima Wakatoshi, Yahaba Shigeru, Akashi Keiji, Iwaizumi Hajime and Kageyama Tobio are offline. Yo Maki, why do I feel like I'm forgetting some people? Like, never mind, I'll remember it when I do. Matsukawa Issei and Hanamaki Takahiro are offline. Horizontal ellipsis. Lovesick morons. Oikawa Toru is online. Yahoo. This is me and my cute face. Hinata Shoyo is online. Oh no. Kaiotani Kintaro and 9+ others are online. I smell something happening again. Degrees. Haven't seen that face for some time now. What's Oikawa's deal now? Ugh, Mimi. Can't I just talk to my bestest friends in the whole wide world? Stop the cat. Yama-chan, you're alive, loudly crying face. Calm down, bitch. You know I would agree with you, but getting hit by a car is some pretty serious stuff, Yama-chan. It was literally running at 30 miles per hour. What the fuck are you talking about? So you still got hit by a car, the fuck? Loudly crying face. You had all these crazy stuff attached to you, by the way. Wait, you visited me? Yeah, why? I told him to stay in Tokyo, but he insisted to come with me. So, y'all are making a big deal about this, seriously. Why aren't we talking about the fact that Tenda-san almost got kidnapped? He was kinda hot though, not gonna lie. Woozy face with one squinted eye and wavy mouth. You knew about that? Saki caught me up on what he read in this group chat. I asked, just excuse me, what? Oh, I just cause you got a boyfriend doesn't mean you should expose us, Yama-chan. Loudly crying face. Just intruder alert. Can y'all calm down? What do you mean calm down? One of our own exposed us. Yamaguchi, how could you? Loudly crying face. I thought we had something special. Will y'all calm down? Jesus. He promised he won't expose all of you. Except the shrimpy smiling face. Yamaguchi, that wasn't me. Saki took my phone and wrote that out. Wait, what? Why is Sakuchi freaking out again? Bitch. Sakuchi skull. He's right beside you reading our chats, right? Yeah. How does it feel having no boyfriend? Shrimpy Saki. Dude, get off my dick, you already have. Tadashi. Red angry face. If you're worried I'll expose you, I won't probably. Saki. I swear if you do anything to jeopardize my chances of getting with Atsumu. Relax, Sakuchi. Saki. Kaiotani Kintaro said Sakusa Kayumi's nickname to Sakuchi. Sakusa Kayumi removed his nickname. Welp, it was fun while it lasted. Neutral face. Sakusa-san, don't worry about it. I threatened to cut off Saki's dick if he ever tried exposing all of you. Smiling face with smiling eyes and hugging hands. Why don't you just cut it off right now? Sweaty red face with tongue out. Shit, wrong emoji. Red face with censoring symbols over mouth. Why don't you try worrying about Kageyama first? Shrimpy. Saki. Okay, that's it. I'm biting your ankles. Wow, so small yet so angry. Reminds me of Yaku-san. Horizontal ellipsis. Butcher knife. Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Saki's asking what your next challenge is going to be. Did someone say challenge? Can it be a normal one this time? Without punishments? Where's the fun in that? Wait, I'm not sure if I wanna do a challenge right now. Here we see the pussy Oikawa in its natural habitat. Bitch. No exception, Oikawa. Unless you want to do a punishment. No. Any ideas, everyone? How about we have a challenge on who can kill Lev first? Stop. Loudly crying face. I vote in favor of Shoyo's idea. Kenma-san. Wait, I'm kinda excited. Eyes. Of Lev potentially dying. Skull. Of the challenge. But still RIP Lev woman dancing. Loudly crying face. What should be something stupid like kissing your crush or something? Not that I wouldn't want to kiss Atsumu. It's okay, Kuchi-kun, we know you're desperate for a boyfriend because you saw Yama-chan already has his, but we gotta think of something else. Bye, skull. Okay, Shitakura, why don't you think of something then? Why don't you guys do those TikTok challenges where you pretend to fall asleep while you call each other on FaceTime? Now I'm too scared that Yahaba might take a screenshot of me snoring and post it somewhere. Kageyama won't even answer most of my calls. Slightly frowning face. That's because you're annoying. Sucky. Stop reading through Tadashi, you idiot beanpole. Don't think I haven't forgiven you for not answering our calls when Tadashi was literally in the hospital fighting for his life. Wow, Shoyo-kun bringing in the big guns to make him feel guilty. He left the room. That's what he gets for being a bitch, red angry face. I might have an idea on what challenge we should be doing. I don't trust him at all. Me too. Calm yo dicks, it's not something dramatic, just a simple challenge, that's all. Which is, pretend to faint in front of your partner. You said it wouldn't be dramatic. And that's literally the most dramatic challenge yet. Oh come on. It's fun. Besides, you might even get a chance to kiss them if you play your cards right, smirking face. How is fainting equal to getting the chance of making out exactly? It just is okay. Anyone in favor say I. Capital I. I. You don't count, Gucci man, why don't you make out with your man? Stay jealous, Tendao-san. Bitch. I guess it's a good idea. You're only saying yes because of the possibility of making out with Atsumu, woozy face with one squinted eye and wavy mouth. Shut the fuck up. Capital I. Ugh, it's a bit dramatic, but whatever, fine, I'll do it. Lev, Oikawa, Bokuto. If I get the chance to make out with Akaashi, I'm treating everyone to meat buns. Why yes. All that's left is the great king, beaming face with smiling eyes. How am I going to do it exactly? I'm literally in Argentina. That's for you to figure out. Besides, it looks like majority are on board with the plan, so you'd still have to do it kissing face with closed eyes. And don't forget you ghosted him after finding out you slept with him in Tokyo. I didn't, okay. How's the whole trying to explain to Iwaizumi-san what happened? I'm getting to it. I don't think it's right to keep him in the dark about this, Oikawa. Ugh, don't sass me. I'm being serious. I may not know your friends Maki and Matsun, but I'm pretty sure sooner or later they're going to take matters in their own hands. Ugh, why'd you have to say those names now? I'm reminded of another potential problem. Which is, those two probably know something's going on. Well then I think it would be best to do the challenge at a time that's not too obvious for them to realize something's going on. True. Knowing them, they probably alerted a bunch of people, which makes it harder for us to make moves. You know, I'm starting to think Oikawa-san should lay off this challenge for a while. Heh? Now why would we do that? Think about it. If we make him do an absurd challenge, Maki and Matsun will probably catch on. In the off chance that they did alert Iwaizumi-san of their suspicions, it's very possible they'll try to ask around if someone else experienced a similar thing. Can't believe I'm saying this, but he does have a point. Or he's probably just overreacting. No, I don't think he's overreacting at all. All eyes are on Oikawa now, and I think it'll expose us more if we try to make him do the challenge. He's so much power in my hands, face with hand over mouth, rosy cheeks and smiling eyes. I would advise against trying to make any funny moves, Oikawa-san. Why not, Kenma-chan? Are you scared of having your secret exposed? Smirking face. Oof. You wouldn't want your search history exposed on the internet, right? Keep bluffing, Kenma-chan, yawning face with closed eyes. Iwaizumi. Pecs. Shirtless. X-reader. Stop, delete that right now. What's that? Want me to keep going? Yes. Bitch, I was just kidding, you don't have to be so brutal, loudly crying face. Mum. Come pick me up, I'm scared. You kinda deserved it for trying to challenge him, Oikawa-san skull. Shut up. Now, since your great king has been deemed worthy of exemption from this challenge, I will do you all a favor in return. By trying to remove suspicion from Maki and Matsun. Somehow I feel like he's not gonna be able to do that, but okay. Now that that's solved, can we please by Sabrina Carpenter do the punishment? No way. Wouldn't that just make us more obvious? Sometimes I forget you're here. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Okay ho. Wow. Ugh, come on, don't you guys want to have a little bit of fun, smirking face? Yeah, no, I think it's settled then, bruh. We don't do the punishment if we fail to do the challenge. Boo, you whores. Stay mad, Twendao. You guys are no fun, but whatever, I'll make sure it'll be me who chooses the challenge next time. I can sense that he's laughing like a maniac behind his screen right now. I am. Well, now that that's settled, I think it's time I do what I was supposed to be doing, which is killing Lev for calling me short, beaming face with smiling eyes. 𝗵𝗶𝗆𝘆. You can run, but you can't hide, beanpole. Smiling face with horns. Sakuatsu. Fuck me, the wing spiker said to himself as he continued scrolling through the group chat. He couldn't believe he actually agreed to the idea of pretending to faint in front of his crush. Yes, daddy, the blonde jokingly responded loudly, echoing throughout the gymnasium, startling Sakusa in the process and earning a laugh from the other members due to his reaction. Are you okay, Omi-kun? You're a bit red in the cheeks. I think your yes, daddy caught him off guard. Some. Shut up. Sorry, Omi. Sakusa's face then contorted to an annoyed expression, to which the blonde setter enjoys looking at every time. Oop, there you go, his signature annoyed face. Or is little Sakuchi annoyed? I think he needs a kiss from some. Before Bokuto could even finish his sentence, the owl head then found himself on the ground as a stray volleyball suddenly hit him in the groin. PFFT. Sorry. Are you okay, Bokuto? I'm fine. I'm just going to lay here for a bit. Alright everyone, let's wrap it up for today. Hinata and Mia, please take care of Bokuto for me. Alright Atsumu-san, let's get his balls fixed up. Bahahaha, rip Bokken's balls. Shut up. Just Help me. Get up. The wing spiker then watched the three go out of his field of vision, after which he then headed to the locker rooms as he once again read through the messages of the group chat. You might even get a chance to kiss them if you play your cards right. Sakusa continued to stare at 𝗃𝗏𝗏's message and couldn't help but start to turn bright red as the thought of possibly kissing Atsumu was starting to sink in. Stop thinking about it and it will all go away, the wing spiker whispered to himself as he desperately tried to drive away that thought from his head, as it was not only making it hard for him to focus, it was also making it hard someplace else. Are you okay? The sudden voice startled Sakusa, prompting him to look behind and see who snuck up on him. Oh. Captain, what do you mean? Well, you've been staring at your phone with a weird expression and you're a bit jumpy today. I am. You're getting enough sleep, right? It's important for us to get proper amounts of rest if we want to be on top of our game. Oh, of course, it's just this coffee I drank earlier here. I didn't know it was that strong. 𝗁𝗍𝗍. I should get going now really. See you tomorrow, Captain. You're not waiting for the three idiots. I already told them I'm leaving first. Before Mian could question him further, the wing spiker hurriedly left the gymnasium, leaving the captain in the locker rooms alone. Private messages between Sakuchi and 𝗁𝗵𝗹𝗆𝘆. Sakuchi is online. I can't sleep. 𝗁𝗁𝗵𝗆𝗆 is online. And this concerns me. Why exactly? Because I can't sleep and you don't deserve to sleep if I'm not asleep. Bitch. What do you want? I don't know how to do the stupid challenge. Then don't do it. You can always just make up something believable to the group chat. Or is it because you actually want to get kissed by Atsumu, eh? Smirking face. Shut up. Yep, you want the D, can't blame you for that. The mirrors are a work of art, bro. You're not making it any better. Calm yo dick. Unless of course that's your main problem. You can't calm yo dick because you're getting too excited imagining what it would be like kissing your crush new moon with face. Horizontal ellipsis. Wait, actually, skull. Now you're on a whole new level of desperate holy shit Kiyo loudly crying face. Fuck you, 𝗁𝗍𝗍𝗍. You should be saying that to Atsumu once he kisses you on the lips after the challenge. Shut up. I'm going to sleep, you're useless. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite face with peeking eye. Horizontal ellipsis. The wing spiker then slammed his phone down on the bedside table, face very red from the teasing he received from his cousin. He then covered his face with his pillow and forced his eyes closed, hoping that he would soon be asleep. Sakusa suddenly jolted awake. Confused, he examined his surroundings and saw that he was in the locker rooms, puzzling him even more as the last thing he remembered was trying his best to fall asleep. Why am I here? He asked himself. However, before he could even process his thoughts, he heard voices from outside the locker rooms. Sensing familiarity in the voices, he then followed where it led him to. As he went out, he could see the silhouette of two people heading outside the gymnasium. Curious, he followed both of them as discreetly as possible, leading him to a somewhat secluded part of the building. The wing spiker then peeked his head slightly to get a better view of the two people and saw Atsumu talking to someone else as they both sat down and enjoyed each other's company. Sakusa, who had seen all this happen, sought for a better view to find out who Atsumu was with. To his surprise, the wing spiker saw what seemed to be Kita. What? No, that doesn't make sense. What is he doing with him? Is this real? This has to be fake, right? He asked himself those questions as he fell to the ground, trying to figure out what the hell was happening in front of him. The next thing he knew, a bunch of voices were surrounding him, telling him that he was too late and that he will never become Atsumu's boyfriend. The wing spiker couldn't do anything but curl up into a ball as he tried to ignore the voices in his head. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Horizontal ellipsis. The wing spiker then jolted awake from his bed drenched in sweat as he tried to calm himself down. Sakusa then took a deep breath as he looked at the time on his phone. 3:21 a.m. After looking at the time, the wing spiker then found himself staring at the ceiling, contemplating his next move. Sakusa tried to force his eyes closed again. However, the looming feeling of witnessing that dream again made him think twice, prompting him to open his eyes once more. Fucking hell. Sakusa then got up from his bed and changed into his gym clothes. Maybe a quick run would ease up his nerves and help him fall asleep, he said to himself as he then left his house. Tokyo National Team Practice Session, 9:30 a.m. The wing spiker ended up not being able to sleep after his quick run around the neighborhood. This in turn caused him to show up to practice in a debilitated state, making his teammates worry about him. Yo Mia, you know what happened to him? The captain of the Jackals whispered to the blonde setter as he tried his best to avert his gaze from Sakusa. The setter gave Mian a confused look as he was just as clueless as the others were. He then tried to examine Sakusa from afar and gave him a concerned look when the wing spiker looked at him. What are you looking at? You look like shit. Thanks, you look even shittier. Bruh. Omi-san, are you perhaps setting the stage for your challenge? Eyes. Because I was going to do it today, but if you were going to do it I don't mind pushing mine back. Oh right. Yo, you really are going all out for this one, eh? What are you talking about? Stop acting stupid, Omi-san, we know what you're doing. And we're not going to get in your way. Will you both shut up? I'm too tired for this shit. What a class act you got there, Omi-san, smirking face. Here's hoping you play your cards right and you know. Oh, I get your smirking face. Good luck, Sakusa. Go get that 𝗵𝗶𝗆𝘆. Shut up. The two grinned at the tired wing spiker as they both got out of his way. Not long after, Atsumu, who had been observing him from afar, decided to sit beside him as he tried to ask him what was going on. Are you okay, Omi? If you're feeling under the weather I can ask Iwaizumi-san to give you a break for today. No. I'm fine, just don't worry about me. Are you sure? You don't want me to get anything? Coffee? I can go out and find you some. No, it's okay, Tsumu. You go practice. I'll just hang out here for a sec. Okay, but if anything happens, yeah, definitely taking a break for today. Horizontal ellipsis. Nice kill. Bakuto-san left. Omi, it's your ball. As Sakusa saw Atsumu set the wing spiker, then struck the ball, making it fly past Hinata and Bakuto's defenses, leading to the team's victory. A loud cheer from the wing spiker's team was then heard, followed by a high-pitched whistle. Sakusa, who had been trying his best to prevent himself from passing out from the combined exhaustion of the practice match and deprivation of sleep, suddenly found himself seeing black before his vision became normal again, surprising him. Alright everyone, that was a great practice match. Take a breather for now and we will reconvene in 10 minutes. Yes sir. The players then went about their business while the wing spiker found himself sitting down on the floor as he stared into nothing, causing the blonde setter to sport a worried look at him. Sakusa, who had broken himself free of the trance, then looked up and saw the blonde setter looking at him worriedly. The wing spiker then tried to signal him that everything was fine, making Atsumu hesitantly leave to go about his business. Yo Hinata, are you sure Sakusa is okay? Why, what's wrong with him? I dunno, but something's off about him. Which is, well, I saw him almost pass out earlier just after practice ended. He's probably setting up for the challenge, Bakuto-san. Yeah, but why would he try to resist passing out? If he was going to do the challenge, wouldn't he just let himself fall down or something? Maybe. Before Hinata could even answer Bakuto's question, the sound of the whistle was heard again in the gymnasium, signaling the end of their break. The players then slowly started coming back to gather around Iwaizumi. I'll ask him later, Bakuto-san. The wing spiker couldn't understand anything that Iwaizumi was talking to them about. All he could feel right now was the stinging pain in his head, accompanied by his spinning vision. Sakusa forced himself awake by staring at the floor as the meeting was going on. The only thing on his mind right now was finishing whatever the hell Iwaizumi-san was talking about and go home so he could get some rest. As he continued to stare, he could swear that he could hear echoing voices by his right ear. However, the wing spiker thought nothing of it and continued to stare. The voices then got louder until the sound was eventually right up to his right ear. Omi, hello? Are you okay? To Omi-san, the meeting is over. Why are you still staring at the floor? Sakusa jumped before turning his head towards the two voices that startled him. You okay, man? I'm fine. You don't look fine. Didn't I tell you to just take a rest for today, Omi? We just had a practice match, Tsumu. Of course I'd look tired. The wing spiker said slowly as he tried his best to get up from the floor. Though he almost lost his balance, he was able to catch himself. Sakusa then started walking back to the locker rooms. However, his walk was cut short when he suddenly felt an intense feeling of tiredness. Before he could even realize what was going on, his vision then went black. Horizontal ellipsis. Atsumu's POV. The blonde setter gave Sakusa a worried look as he observed his behavior. He could tell that he wasn't okay but didn't want to overstep his boundaries. Thus, Atsumu decided to walk alongside him to somewhat ease his worries. What he did not expect, however, was the sudden thud and seeing Sakusa on the floor unconscious. This made the setter panic as he saw Sakusa's pale face. Shit. Hey, Sakusa just fainted. Without any hesitation, the setter immediately knelt on the floor and gently shook the wing spiker in hopes of getting a response from Sakusa. The other members who had witnessed the scene immediately went to the infirmary to notify the nurse on duty of what had happened. Omi, are you okay? The setter asked loudly as he gently shook the wing spiker. Though he was slightly panicking, he tried to remember the steps on how to help an unconscious person from his first aid training. I'm going to go get him some water. I have a fan, hold on, let me get it. The two then ran as they immediately tried to get the things to hand over to help Sakusa. Hinata, Bakuto, be careful. The setter then moved his ear towards the spiker's nose as he tried to listen for breathing. Atsumu's face then slightly relaxed when he heard it and moved on to checking his pulse. Not long after, the duo arrived in record time as they both handed Atsumu the portable fan and a bottle of water. Hey, we got the nurse already. Alright everybody, please give the nurse some space. The nurse then performed the necessary steps as they checked the wing spiker's vital signs. Not long after, the wing spiker slowly started to wake up and was guided by his teammates to sit up straight. After which both Mian and Iwaizumi guided the wing spiker to the infirmary as the nurse performed more vital checks on the wing spiker. Bokuaka, Japan National Volleyball Team Group Chat. 𝗍𝗶𝗶𝘁𝗲 is online. If anyone was wondering, Sakusa has already been checked by the nurse. He's going to be fine and just needs ample rest. Oh thank god. Who's with him right now? Atsumu volunteered to help him get home. Komori too. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 is online. No need to worry about us over here everyone. Sakusa still has his signature grumpy face on, so he's going to be fine. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 sent a photo. See Hinata boke, he's fine, stop worrying about him. Bitch, he fainted, who wouldn't be scared? And you clearly saw he was breathing 𝗵𝗶𝗸𝗆. Shut up, you're the 𝗵𝗶𝗆. It's the fact that they're literally beside each other and they're still bickering in chat. You're with them? Unfortunately. And they won't stop fighting, grinning face with big eyes. Sorry Suna-san, it's all the tangerine's fault. Shut the fuck up. I'll shut the fuck up if you get better at volleyball. SJDNKSF you little. Stop talking to the mirror. Midget relieved face. You know, I should be annoyed right now, but they are making a fool of themselves here. Live updates. The annoying orange is trying to choke Kageyama. Let me guess, he can't reach his neck. PFFT, he just gave up altogether. Now he's acting like a little kid with his pouting face. Suna Rintaro sent a photo. I'm logging off, you guys stop doing stupid shit. 𝗍𝗶𝗶𝗁 is offline. Aranajiro is offline. Horizontal ellipsis. The owl head who had been watching the chaos unfold in their group chat then turned his phone off as he looked around his surroundings as if he was waiting for someone to arrive. He then turned his phone on again as he checked the time. 7:40 p.m. It showed on the clock. His face then slightly scrunched as he tried to look at his surroundings a second time before unlocking his phone and opening his messages. Private messages between Bakuto-san and Akaashi. Are you there? Akaashi is online. Sorry Bakuto-san. I'm already by the train station, please wait for me. Face with heart-shaped eyes. I'm by the ticket booth if you were wondering. Heading there now Bakuto-san. Yeah. The owl head then turned his phone off as he scanned his surroundings once more. His face then sporting a large smile when he saw a familiar figure heading closer to him. Akaashi. Hey Bakuto-san. I'm sorry I'm late, my boss wouldn't leave me alone. It's fine Kaashi. The important thing is we're finally having another sleepover. It's been so long since we had one of these. Hey yeah. The last one was in high school with the other members of Fukurodani. Akaashi said tiredly, with eye bags evident under his eyes. The owl head noticed this, which made him worry about Akaashi's condition. Kaashi, are you okay? Have you been sleeping? Your eye bags. Have you been prioritizing work over sleep? Kaashi, you know sleep is important too, right? I know Bakuto-san. I promise it's not always like this. I was just trying to finish a deadline, that's all. Fortunately, since all of that is over, I can relax at least a little bit. A little bit? No other sleepover, I'm going to make sure you relax a lot a bit. Akaashi chuckled when he heard those words from Bakuto-san, prompting the spiker to make his signature confused owl face. Why are you laughing? Bakuto-san, a lot a bit doesn't make sense. It does too. PFFT, whatever you say Bakuto-san. Come on. Our ride is here. Let's get our butts home. After you. Horizontal ellipsis. The ride home was enveloped in comfortable silence. Maybe Akaashi didn't realize it, but his head slowly started to lean onto Bakuto's shoulder. The owl head on the other hand was in his own world, trying to figure out a plan to perform the fainting challenge. However, not long after, the spiker's train of thought was interrupted when he noticed the former setter trying to fight his sleep. Should I offer him to sleep on my shoulder? He asked himself, as he watched Akaashi slowly start to fall asleep. He couldn't help but blush as he tapped the former setter's shoulder. Do you want to sleep on my shoulder, Akaashi? The owl head stuttered as he tried his best to his already red face. The former setter, whose eyelids were already droopy, gave Bakuto a smile as he leaned his head on his shoulder before falling asleep, leaving Bakuto in a state of gay panicking. Oh shit, I have to tell the group chat, but I can't move too much or I'll wake Akaashi up. The owl head told himself as he stared at his crush's peaceful sleeping face, which only made his already red face even redder. Lovesick morons. Bakuto Katero is online. Shit. Fuck. 𝗍𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗁. Kenma Kozume is online. Is he dying? Kill me now SJDNKSDJ. Oikawa Toru is online. What's his deal? Semi-Ita and Kyoto Kintaro are online. Did you fall into an anthill? Or did you get hit by a bus? He's gay panicking. Yo Bakuto. Are you gay? Panicking. He's definitely gay panicking. Akaashi IJNSJKBDS. What happened to Akaashi? He's sleeping. Grinning face with big eyes. Why are you freaking out over him sleeping on my shoulder? Loudly crying face. I don't know what to do, he's so cute I can't. Kiss him on the forehead, go. Stop 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗁, I was thinking about it but 𝗍𝗶𝗶𝗆. Do it pussy, straight mouthed face with one raised eyebrow. Stop Hudford. Wait, did you just wake the whole group chat up because Akaashi-san is sleeping on your shoulder? Yes. I need help. I see ANTT smiling face holding back tears. Wait, wouldn't it be so cute if Bakuto-san kissed his forehead eyes? Stop loudly crying face. I'm Levin loudly crying face. Bakuto Katero is offline. Alright everyone, place your bets. Will he kiss him or will he be a pussy and not do it? Probably be a pussy. Like you, sir. The owlhead then turned his phone off as he then turned his attention to Akaashi, who was still sleeping peacefully on his shoulder. His mind was racing with many thoughts, and of them was whether or not to follow the gremlins of the group chat's advice to kiss Akaashi's forehead as he slept. The owlhead once again stared at Akaashi's sleeping figure. He couldn't help but smile as he saw his chest going up and down in a relaxed manner, indicating that he was at peace as he slept. Bakuto, who was staring at his crush, couldn't explain why he was slowly getting closer to Akaashi. It was as if some force was pulling him. Not long after, his face was already close to the former setter's forehead, and before he could even land a kiss, the train suddenly came to a halt and an announcement from the conductor indicated that they had already arrived. Consequently, the announcement startled the former setter awake, causing the back of his head to collide with Bakuto's face. What happened? The former setter asked groggily, before turning his attention to Bakuto, who was rubbing his face from the pain. Bakuto-san, are you okay? Huh? Yeah, I'm fine. It's a long story. How about we should just go? Horizontal ellipsis. The two eventually arrived in Akaashi's apartment. The owlhead, who was still thinking about what happened earlier, didn't notice a small table was in his way and accidentally stubbed his toe, causing him to let out a scream in pain before cussing out the table in front of him. Hey, that table has feelings too, Bakuto-san, the former setter said in a joking manner, which made the owlhead chuckle. However, it was soon cut short because of the pain from his toes. Well, that stupid table also got in the way. As he said that, the owlhead then kicked the table, causing him to stub his already injured toe again. Akaashi, who had watched this unfold, couldn't help but laugh when he saw Bakuto cursing while he tried to rub his toe in hopes of making the pain stop. Why are you laughing, Kashi? PFFT, sorry. Seeing you curse out inanimate objects is funny. Here, let me get you an ice pack. The former setter then headed to the kitchen, leaving the spiker in pain as he waited for Akaashi to come back. Minutes later, the former setter came back with a towel and an ice pack and handed it over to the owlhead. Thanks, Kashi, but it's already fine. See, I can walk again. Kind of. Yeah, but you still need to put an ice pack on that just in case. Alright, Dad. Shut up. Why don't you get some rest? Yeah, you still look like you need more of it. I'll cook something up for you. Straight-mouthed face with one raised eyebrow. Don't look at me like that. It's just ramen. I won't burn the house down. Now go. Take a bath or do relaxing stuff. Don't worry about me. Just please don't burn the house down, okay? I won't. The former setter then hesitantly left for his room to relax, leaving the owlhead alone. Bakuto, who had been thinking all day on how to perform the challenge, already hatched an idea earlier. After cooking for Akaashi, he would set up the area by knocking a bunch of pans down, making it seem like he fell and passed out. The things that will happen after will just be up to how Bakuto will play his cards. The owlhead then started to cook the dish he had promised Akaashi. After he had finished cooking, Bakuto then started to set up the scene for the challenge. He had placed a bunch of pots and pans on the floor to make the scene look more realistic. As the owlhead was about to set up the final prop for his challenge, Bakuto then stubbed his toe against the counter, causing him to fall down and hit his head on one of the pans he had set up on the floor. The glass of water that he had been holding earlier had also shattered into pieces, creating a hazard on the floor space. This series of events then caused a commotion, startling the former setter, who had been in his room trying to relax. A bunch of hurried footsteps were then heard across the apartment as Akaashi investigated the origin of the noise. Bakuto-san. Akaashi, wait. Before the owlhead could even warn the former setter of the glass shards on the floor, Akaashi had already tried to walk over them, and not long after, a scream had also escaped the former setter's lips. Kashi, stop walking. Wait for me, the owlhead said as he tried to focus on his surroundings. The pan hitting his head had caused him to get a little dizzy, however he tried to fight it off when he saw Akaashi breathing heavily as he tried to stabilize himself. Bakuto then carried Akaashi to a safer area of the house before examining his foot. The spiker couldn't help but grimace when he saw that a large piece of glass had pierced his already bloody foot. Let's go to the hospital. Yeah, I'll carry you. Wait, but your head. Are you sure you're okay? I'm fine, Kashi. It's your foot we should be worried about. But the pans, what if you have a concussion? I'll get myself checked too, okay? If it means having to calm you down. Oh, okay. Come on. I'll carry you now on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hina. After practice had ended, the Tangerine then found himself thinking about the fainting challenge. Admittedly, he had no plans prepared and even contemplated on just winging it and hoping the performance sticks. Before he could even hatch a plan, the Tangerine's train of thought was then interrupted by a familiar voice calling out to him. Boke. Hinata, Boke. Bitch, I would have gotten it if you weren't messing up your sets. Will you two shut up? The one time I'm trying to do extra practice, you'll find a way to make it even more annoying. Sorry, Suna-san. Sorry. And the Tangerine is right, even if it was me trying that had set out it would be hard to hit it. You also need to improve your spiking skills, Tangerine. Almost all of the attacks you did to me were blocked. PFFT. Why you guys? Sorry. The monster duo once again got back to practicing their special move. With Suna, who they were able to convince to help them practice it, also tried to block their every attack. How they were able to convince Suna. Even the middle blocker couldn't believe he agreed to their request. Horizontal ellipsis. Flashback. Hinata Boke, we need to practice our secret technique so we can score more points. We need someone who will block us. Go ask the other guys. You do it too. TCH fine. The Tangerine and the setter then split and headed to the other players that were still inside the gymnasium, hoping to be able to convince at least someone who will help them with their extra volleyball practice. Yaku-san, please help us in our extra practice. The setter bowed deeply, in hopes that the gesture will be able to convince the libero to help them out with their request. This however was in vain, as the libero declined, stating that he had other commitments to attend to. Hyakuzoa-san, please, you have to help us practice, I'm begging you, loudly crying face. The Tangerine pleaded as he knelt on the floor trying to convince Hyakuzoa, who was already itching to get out of the gymnasium. Sorry Hinata-kun, maybe next time, okay? Wait please, I've already asked almost everyone, face with big pleading eyes. Suna's right there. The Tangerine then glanced at the direction Hyakuzoa was pointing, and sure enough, fox-eyed middle blocker was sitting on the benches, engrossed by his own phone. Not long after, Hinata then averted his gaze from Suna, only to find out that Hyakuzoa had already run off. Left without any options, the Tangerine then hurriedly approached Suna, who was still oblivious to his surroundings. Suna-san. Suna-san. Both Hinata and Kageyama yelled as they were approaching Suna. The middle blocker, who was slightly startled by Hinata's loud voice, took his attention away from his phone and noticed that everyone except for the two had already gone home. No, the middle blocker said, as he had an inkling on what those two would ask from him. I haven't even said anything. Loudly crying face. Please Suna-san, we beg you. No, I'm too tired. In a desperate attempt to get Suna to help them practice, the Tangerine quickly grabbed the middle bloker's leg and hugged it as tightly as he could. Suna, who was not interested in trying to help them, also tried to shake Hinata off of him. However, the Tangerine wouldn't budge, clinging to him like a koala. Dude, get off my leg. Not until you help us practice. I don't want to help you practice. I'll do anything. Just help us practice. Not interested Hinata. Please. No. Please. No. Please. No. Please. Loudly crying face. Suna, who had been struggling to shake off the Tangerine from his leg, gave up trying and tried to negotiate with the two. Sighing, the middle blocker then opened his mouth. If I help you practice, will you let me go? Hinata nodded slowly as he loosened his grip on the middle bloker's leg. Fine. You also owe me dinner and Samu's onigiri. Deal. Horizontal ellipsis. Present time. Can we go home? It's been 2 hours. I should be cuddling with Samu already. Wait. Just one more Suna-san, I promise I'll get it. Give me the strongest serve you got. Dude, I thought we were only practicing your special move or something. Why are we doing receiving practice? Because he sucks at volleyball, obviously. Bitch, I'll bite your ankles off. Whatever. I hope that volleyball hits your face. I hope it hits you first. Shut up. Are you done now, idiots? I'm going to serve. Yes we are. Give us your strongest serve, Suna-san. Sigh. The middle blocker then readied himself from the opposite side of the court. As he bounced the ball, he made sure to let his frustrations fuel the strength of his serve, and the next thing he knew, a loud boom was heard when his hand collided with the ball, followed by it hitting the floor and a loud yell. Fuck shit, ouch. The two who had watched the scene unfold were frozen in place as they watched the Tangerine slowly fall to the floor as he was holding his groin. Did I? Shoyo? The setter said in a worried tone when no response came from the Tangerine as he said his name. Kageyama then went beside Hinata and slowly rubbed his back, hoping that it would make his situation better. Hey, are you okay? I'll go get an ice pack, be right back. Shoyo, can you hear me? The setter asked again. When his questions were left unanswered, the setter then repositioned the Tangerine to a much more comfortable position. Still worried, Kageyama then hurriedly retrieved his bottle and a fan as he positioned Hinata's head on his lap as he tried to fan him. Is he alright? I got the ice pack. He passed out. Shit, I'm so sorry. Not long after, the Tangerine slowly started to wake up, causing the setter to take a sigh of relief. Fuck, it hurts so bad. The Tangerine couldn't help but cry, which made both Kageyama and Suna worry for him. The setter, who was trying to calm him down, patted his head in hopes of being able to help with his situation. This is so embarrassing, I'm sorry. I can't stop crying. My lower stomach hurts. Sorry, I didn't know it would hit you in the balls. How did Bakuto-san not pass out from getting hit twice? The Tangerine asked, causing the two to chuckle. His balls are made of steel, unlike yours, I guess. Shut up. I bet if Suna-san's spike hit your balls, you'd be the one crying. I'm really sorry, Hinata. Before Suna could even finish his sentence, his phone then rang, causing him to step out of the conversation, leaving Kageyama and Hinata alone. Hey, seriously, are you okay? I was a bit worried there, you know. I'm fine, thank you for helping me. Hey, Samu's already looking for me and I gotta go. I'm really sorry, Hinata. It It's fine Suna-san. We'll clean up here. Why yeah. Alright. See you in practice. The middle blocker swiftly left the gymnasium leaving the two behind. The tangerine who had slowly realized that he was laying his head on his crush's leg started to turn red causing Kageyama to ask him about the sudden change in features. Hey are you okay? You're turning red. Why yeah here let me get up The middle blocker swiftly tried to get back up but then went back to the floor as the pain from his lower body shot up. This in turn caused Kageyama to chase after his falling body and support him before he could even hit the floor. Boke. Hinata Boke. You could have hurt yourself again. Sorry I didn't know it was that bad. I'll try to be careful. Now please let me go. No. Stay there and I'll clean up. I'm carrying you back to my apartment. Ha. You won't be able to walk in this state Boke. Besides I live much closer than you. I'm not gonna let you walk around the city injured stupid. The setter said after he had finished cleaning up the gymnasium. Before the tangerine could even protest, he then found himself piggyback riding on Kageyama, causing the tangerine to cover his face as he started to turn bright red from the action. Are you good? The setter asked, oblivious to the tangerine's bright red face. Why yeah just please can we go home quick? Kuroo-ken. To say that Kenma Kozume has sharp intuition was an understatement, especially when it came to his best friend Kirutichiro. However, it would seem that these past few days the relationship between the two had slightly changed. He couldn't understand why Kiryu would always feel nervous whenever Kenma tried to get close to him. Back then the rooster head wouldn't mind if the setter laid his head on his legs as they both watched a movie. However now, it would seem that something had changed. Days after the beach party Kenma had hosted, the setter felt awkwardness radiating from the former middle blocker whenever they would hang out alone. Like one time where they both had a movie night and Kenma suddenly laid his head on Kiryu's legs like a small kitten. He could feel the rooster head's leg tense up for a second before calming back down again. He thought nothing of it the first time. However, because of similar events happening when both he and Kiryu were involved, he knew he had to find out what was going on. However, all of that was going to be reserved for a later occasion as the only thing on his mind right now was winning the game he had been playing for over 3 hours and completing the challenge. He didn't know why, but he was a little curious on how the rooster head would react when placed in this situation, especially now that things between them have been quite confusing for the pudding head. Before Kenma could even get lost in his own thoughts, the doorbell suddenly rang and from it revealed Kiryu bringing a bunch of snacks for the setter. Hey Kenken, I got you your favorite, Kiryu said in a teasing tone. The former setter who had smelled the familiar fragrance suddenly paused his game and swiftly ran to the kitchen where Kiryu was waiting. The pudding head suddenly peeked his head into the shopping bag Kiryu had brought with him, looking like a little curious kitten, causing the rooster head to chuckle at him. The apple pie is at the bottom of the bag. Be careful, it might spill. Thank you Kiryu. After thanking the former middle blocker, the former setter then placed the box on the table, opened it and started to eat like there was no tomorrow. Hey slow down Kenken, no one's taking that pie from you. I'm hungry. The former setter said, though Kiryu wasn't sure if he heard it right as the apple pie in his mouth made it hard to understand what he was saying. What? Kiryu asked as he imitated Kenma's voice, causing the former setter to chuckle. When he had finished chewing the piece of pie, he then repeated what he had said earlier. I'm hungry, okay? Quit sassing me dad. You didn't eat anything? I got hungry. Tried to cook something then realized I was too lazy to do it, okay? And you didn't think of buying food outside? There's a convenience store by the street. Too tired. Food delivery? I didn't want to talk to anyone, okay? Kiryu laughed at all the former setter's reasons for not getting food. He wasn't surprised as he had done this multiple times before. So you were just going to let yourself starve rather than go out to buy food? No. Maybe if I was so hungry I'd contemplate. Kenken, quit sassing me, okay? Besides, I have you giving me food sometimes. Yeah, but what if I can't swing by and you don't have food? What are you going to do? Call you? Seriously? Shut up. The rooster head laughed as he watched the former setter eat the apple pie aggressively, as if he hadn't been eating for several days. Not long after, the box containing the apple pie only had one slice left, which the former setter offered to Kiryu. We were supposed to have 3 slices each, but okay. Whoops, sorry. Kiryu chuckled and proceeded to eat his share of the pie. However, as he was enjoying it, he could see that the former setter had something on his mind. Curious, he then asked Kenma about it. You okay Kenken? You look like you want to say something. Was it obvious? Yeah. You don't have any plans for tomorrow, right? No. Why, what's up? I was thinking maybe you could, What do I know? Maybe we could go outside and run? Surprised and dismayed face. What did you do to the real Kenma? Shut up. Wait, but seriously, go for a run? I thought you'd say something like go outside to play in the arcade or something, thinking face. I played volleyball in high school, bruh. I was active at some point in my life. Why are you acting so surprised? True, but didn't you say that you hated running? Yes, but I like the scenery while I run and the things I imagine. Besides, my viewers told me I should go outside and touch grass. What's wrong with following that advice? Following advice from strangers on the internet? I see a lot of things wrong with that. You know what, I think you're just scared that I might beat you in a race, smirking face. You couldn't even keep up with me when we were in high school, relieved face. Nah, that's just you being a chicken face with stuck out tongue. Oh, you're on, little kitty. Alright, rooster head face with stuck out tongue. Horizontal ellipsis. The next day. Alright. First one to finish 5 laps around the place and get back here wins. What happens if I win? Ha. Dream on Kenkan. Fine. If I win you have to do everything I ask for a week. And if I win you have to do everything I ask for a week, relieved face. PSH, how does it feel being unoriginal? Shut up. But in all seriousness, Kenkan, if you feel dizzy or anything, don't push it, okay? We're supposed to be competing. Why are you acting like my dad? I mean, I wouldn't mind being your daddy. Kissing face with open eyes. Kenma blushed as Kuroo's words sank in, embarrassed by what he'd heard. Kuroo, equally surprised by his own slip, turned red as the realization hit him. Why, you know what? Let's just start. Yeah, we should. Alright, in 3, 2, 1, run. Horizontal ellipsis. 5 minutes in, the former setter was already regretting his plan, mostly because he thought Kuroo would hold back a little and stay within his line of vision. Instead, however, he was left alone, struggling to keep up with him. In his head he had imagined that the plan would be simple. He would make it look like he was running, then suddenly get tired and faint while Kuroo was still nearby. However, he had overlooked the possibility that Kuroo was just too fast of a runner. Now he's left alone, trying to keep up with the rooster head in hopes of carrying out his plan. Fucking Kuroo. Why is he running so fast? Where is he? The former setter continued running as he tried to find where Kuroo was. After barely finishing the first lap, he could hear rapid footsteps coming from his left. On your left, Kenkan. Kuroo. Before Kenma could even finish his sentence, the former middle blocker had already zipped past him. The former setter then ran after him, however it wasn't long before he could feel his body giving out. He tried his best to control his breathing. However, the exhaustion was just too much, and before he could process everything, the world suddenly turned black. The last thing Kenma could hear was rapid footsteps and Kuroo's voice calling him out. I'm fine. Why are you guys treating me like a baby? You mean Tsumu's baby? Winking face. The wing spiker immediately threw his bag at Komori, causing him to fall down and land on the living room sofa. Atsumu on the other hand smiled awkwardly as he watched Sakusa try to avert his gaze from him. Ouch. You deserve it. Whatever. By the way, Tsumu, can I leave you here with Kyo to stay for the night? Ha. Excuse me. Since when was this your home? Bitch, you passed out earlier and I don't trust you at all. Mori-kun. The libero's eyes then turned back to Atsumu as if pleading to him. After which he then got close to the setter and whispered, please, your brother is inviting me over for dinner and I kinda wanna go if you know what I mean. Smiling face with tear. He has a boyfriend. Okay, and I like his boyfriend too. Whore. Shut up. Now can you please babysit him? I'm worried he might pass out again or something. But, yay. Thanks Tsum, I'll make sure to pay you back. Is no one going to ask me about my thoughts on this? Shut up. Tsumu's staying here and you can't do anything about it. I own this apartment. Komori smiled deviously and patted Tsumu's shoulder before leaving the apartment, causing both the setter and wing spiker to give confused looks at each other. Not long after, Sakusa's phone sounded off, making him check who had texted him. New message from Komori: Batoma. Now that you and Atsumu are both alone, don't you dare waste this opportunity I gave you. If you do, I will have no choice but to tell Atsumu your little secret. Smiling face with horns. Fuck you. Face with peeking eye. Sakusa then turned his phone off as he watched Atsumu shift awkwardly from his position. He then grabbed his bag as he started to walk towards the door. Why, you know I should leave. Just don't tell Mori-kun I left and he won't bother you. How's he going to know, right? Wait. It's fine. Just think of this as my way of repaying you for taking care of me earlier. But, it's really fine, please. Don't leave. The wing spiker said as he grabbed the setter's arm, causing Atsumu to smile at the wing spiker before setting his bag back down on the table. Maybe this time, he should try to follow his cousin's advice.